Hello everybody, and I just wanted to actually give a more in-depth tutorial on how to install Android Studio and set all the path variables. I just finished the Flutter installation tutorial, and I did leave out a couple of things regarding Android Studio which you will need for the SDK, stuff like that. So this is just a more in-depth video that should help you get all the required tools, set all the required variables and all that good stuff. So at this link here, which will be in the video description, just go ahead and click download Android Studio and click that and download. Once it finishes, just go ahead and double click the installer in the downloads folder, or in your downloads folder, and it will run this. Click yes. And you're going to get to this wizard here, so go click next. Make sure you check both of these boxes, next. Leave that path the way it is, next. Install, and we'll let that go. When it's completed, click next again, and we're going to go ahead and finish. So this is going to go ahead and start Android Studio, and just don't import settings. You can if you want, but you don't need to. So this is going to take us to another wizard where we're going to have to install the SDK, emulator, stuff like that. So go ahead and do next, standard. I would let's just do custom for now. Go next, that's fine. I'm gonna do dark theme just because if you're installing an emulator, you don't have to. I would, or if you have an Android device, it's not necessary, but I'm going to, just so I can show the emulator on screen. So I'm going to click that and make sure everything else is checked, and then click next. You can leave this for the emulator. That's 2 gigabytes of RAM is fine. Next, and just go ahead and click finish, and we'll let this install. After several minutes, you should get a finished screen, so just go ahead and click finish, and then it's going to take you to the Android Studio welcome screen. The first thing we're going to want to do is set up our Android SDK environment variable. So to find this, you want to go into configure, SDK manager, and you're going to go ahead and copy this path right here. So it should be in your AppData/local directory, so just copy that. And now we're going to go into environment variables. So in the search bar, type in environment variables, click environment variables, and in system variables, we're going to want to create a variable, and then we're going to also want to add to a path variable. So the new one is going to be called Android Home. So it's going to be Android, in all caps, Android _home, and then just paste that directory that we just copied. So click OK, and then it should pop up over here. Now in path, in the system variables as well, in path, we're gonna want to go ahead and click edit, and then you're gonna create a new one. And then to actually access the home variable that we just created, we're gonna say %, and then the name of the variable, so Android _home, %, and then \platform tools. Click OK. And then we're going to want to actually add another one to path. So click new again, and then we're going to do %Android _home, %\tools. And then click OK, OK, and OK. So now that we have everything in our path variables, you can click OK on the SDK manager. Now we want to go ahead and install the emulator. I already have it installed, but I'm just going to go ahead and create a new one just for now. So you can click whatever one you want. I'm just going to do the Pixel 2, doesn't really matter. Just click next. You might want to download, you can download whichever SDK you want. I'm going to go with Q, just because I think that's pretty widely supported, and it's 10.0, which is actually developed. So to download a system image, you want to click the download link there, and then accept this, next, and it will install. once that big download is finished installing, just click finish there, and now you see that you have installed the Q system image. So now we have to select it actually, so we can go ahead and install this system image with an emulator. So go ahead and highlight the image that you installed, click next, and you can name it whatever you want. I'm going to just keep it as portrait, and then you can click finish. And now this is our thing. We can go ahead and run it and see the result. When you run it, if you get this, just go ahead and click OK. It doesn't really matter too much right now, but you can see that the phone is starting as a Pixel, Google Pixel phone would. So that is essentially how you install Android Studio, the emulator, how you set all the path variables for the SDK, and essentially set up your environment to develop mobile applications for the Android phone. And that is all I have for you guys today, so I will see you later. Bye.